It's now time for the #1 podcast in iHeartRadio. It's Your House is Key, the podcast that opens the door to your dream home. Hosted by the remarkable Dannel Shepard, he's your trusted guide in the world of real estate. Whether you're buying your first home, selling your current one, or simply curious about the market, this podcast is your one-stop shop for all things real estate. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your host and my good friend, Dannel Shepard.
Welcome back to Your House is Key podcast with your favorite realtor, Dannel Shepard, and my favorite co-host,
Christy.
Yeah, and as always, she got the tea for you when it comes to real estate questions and concerns, especially from you guys that you send to us. So today, what are we talking about?
So we're going to talk about renting versus buying.
Ooh, so it's like a battle between the two. When you say versus, is they don't like?
Yeah, it is a battle. It is a battle because, you know, it could come off as renting could be cheaper than buying a home.
I like how you say that. We'll go back there.
We got to talk about those upfront costs, right? Because people think about down payment. When you say down payment, I always think about like a large lump sum. Like I don't have $50,000 in the bank just to give to somebody.
She about to get her license.
But rather have $3,000. Let me slide this on the table.
Yeah,
and then I can move on into my apartment. But
well, before you even get started, I have to tell the people,
okay,
if you're renting, it is okay.
Yes.
But the ultimate goal that you get from us, that you get out of any of this, is not to be a lifetime renter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that own nothing, control everything type of thing.
Okay.
You know, because renting should be a stepping stone to the long-term gain, which is ownership of a home. And the reason I say that, right, because everybody wants to house hack and I want to do this and do that. And the problem is when you don't have a stable home, if you don't know where you land your head at night, like guaranteed, because guess what? Unless I default on my mortgage, unless this thing burned down, I know where I'm going.
Yeah.
When you renting, and I know we're going to cover it.
Yeah.
They raise that rent. Oh, you got...
Which is happening.
Does this smell like smoke? You been smoking?
Yeah.
The neighbor said you've been too loud. You don't know where you going to lay your head tomorrow.
Yeah. And I think I don't miss renting, right? So let me back
But
it
it
up.
served its purpose.
It served its purpose for sure, right? I will never do it again. Now that I have my own and I've been on, we've been homeowners since 2013, I will never go back to renting because you're not going to tell me what to do. Don't tell me what to do.
So we're going to start there. Our first point today is we're going to talk about freedom.
Freedom, yes.
Because you got a baby girl.
Yes.
I got a baby girl. I got two. When you got some older,
I got a lot of children.
Yeah.
I got a lot of children at the house.
But at the end of the day, whether boys, girls, you can't paint that wall blue or pink.
Yeah, no.
Without permission.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't have that dog running around in the front or backyard. Not only without permission, without an extra deposit.
Yeah.
And your rent gonna be a little bit higher.
Yes.
Just in case.
Just because.
Yes.
Just because they can.
Because they can.
Right. And so however you move in your apartment, it has to go through that landlord. So to your point, if you have pets, they're gonna charge you up to $150. And it's probably more because when I was renting, we were renting. I'm not telling anybody to do this. I didn't pay no extra fee and I had a dog. But
please.
I'm not gonna encourage you all
I'm a landlord
to do
too.
what I did. But I'm not paying you $150. Honesty is key. But I was honest with myself and I said I wasn't gonna pay that. No, but you could pay up to $150 or it could be up to $350. It just depends on
whatever rules they set.
Whatever their rules are.
No landlord is the same.
Yeah, no. And then you have slumlords, right? And luckily, I've never had to experience a slumlord, but I think my first apartment, they were trying to get over with extra fees when you move out. You know, they don't want to give you a deposit back. Oh, there's a stain in the carpet.
That's not $1,500.
That stain was there when I moved in. How am I responsible for that person's macaroni and cheese still being in the carpet? I'm not responsible.
So when talking about the freedom, right? Also, someone's popping up.
Yeah.
Once a month.
Once a month, yeah.
Because not only are they collecting the rent,
yeah,
they also checking in on their investment.
Yeah.
They want to make sure. And all I gotta do is give you a 24-hour notice.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
24-hour notice. So when you own your own, that freedom of I don't have to open my door unless I want to, speaks volumes on what you can do and how you can do it. And freedom is one big thing. There's something I want to talk about that comes along with freedom. It's actually going to compile of a couple of topics, which is equity.
Yeah.
Because equity is gained as you continue, the value of the house goes up.
Yes.
Obviously, as you continue to pay the mortgage, what you owe goes down. And so there's a difference in there, and that generates your equity, right? And so a lot of people say, well, I don't want to pay no mortgage.
Yeah.
Well, what you think $1,300, $1,400, $1,500 is doing?
Yeah.
It's paying a mortgage. It's just not your mortgage, right? And when you paying somebody else's mortgage, they're getting the benefits of owning a home.
Yeah.
And there's nothing like just, man.
Okay, so let's just break down the misconception that renting is cheaper than purchasing. Right? So that was something I was ignorant at before I owned my first home.
Ignorance is not bad. The definition is lack of knowledge.
Lack of knowledge,
That's
right?
it.
So I wasn't privy to the benefits
Okay.
of owning a home. I was stuck on the dollar amount, not realizing I'm actually coming out cheaper
If
owning.
in long term.
Long term.
Even,
yep. But if you're smart about it, right? So I think we've covered this in a previous podcast, but if not, that, your first home should be a starter home, unless you want it to be your forever home. You pick and choose. Our first home was a starter home.
Get you ready.
It gets you ready. So it was a short sale, our first home. So we purchased our home for what, $55,000. They don't make them no more. I'm sorry, y'all. I should have kept that property, but
they don't make them no more.
But we had put down $3,000. Well, that's only 3 months worth of rent from where we currently were at the time.
So when you say 3 months of rent,
yeah,
where are you getting that from? Is that because for what I understand, and maybe this is what you're saying, when you're renting, there's a security deposit.
Yep.
There's first month rent. And then they also want last month rent.
Yeah.
And what? So with that being said, it's crazy how if you really add that up, I think you told me this. That's an FHA loan down payment, right?
Yeah, that's a down payment, but also they're not running rent specials how they used to back in 2004.
What's the rent special?
So they had
I had that in college.
Listen, a rent special is when they would say, okay, you free, no security deposit, first month rent free, and you can move in maybe for $1,000.
Oh,
to cover your second month rent. They don't do stuff like that no more.
Those are fiending prices.
Yeah, I mean that was my my second apartment that I had was basically a condo, and I moved in for $1,000, and it was a nice setup. But they don't have those anymore. So let's talk about now. They want 6 months rent up front.
And most rents are most rents are anywhere from 13, let's just say $1,500.
That's
so 15 and 15 is
more.
3.
Yeah.
Plus another 15 is 45, if my math is right. So you just put down $4,500.
Yeah.
FHA loan or low down payment grants that's out there. There's so many programs with the right lender. I got you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
With the right lender. And there's actually some no down payment.
Yeah.
And you can put that 3 months up because that can go towards your escrow.
Yeah.
Because escrow needs 3 months. But most people don't realize that you're still paying the same premiums and fees.
Yeah.
They just hide it.
Yeah, they hide it. And so I think you just have to assess what works well for you. So, for example, my grandmother has been a forever renter. And I asked her, why have you never purchased a home? Well, she doesn't like to commit to one area or one part of town. So that makes sense for her.
She sound like a player.
Yeah, she is.
She ain't competing.
She's a player.
No
And she fly.
commitment.
And she fly. Yeah, she says, no, I think she owned a condo in Avondale, right up the street from Zion. You know, those real big, like brick. Yeah, so it was a condo back in the day, but then she sold that. But she likes to move, she used to like to move around, not so much now. So that makes sense for her. So you got to weigh your options. What makes sense to you?
Correct.
Right.
First
But
and foremost.
even going into, I would, again, for me personally, I would never rent because it's what comes with it. You're sharing basically a building with other people. You got to deal with different type of smells if they're cooking food. Some people can't cook. You're dealing with different animals, dogs, cats, or whatever the case may be. I just like being in the comfort of my own space, doing what I want to do when I want to do it and not have to ask for permission. And there's a lot of benefits and perks that comes with owning your own home. But I think also what I had mentioned to you earlier is one thing I did miss was, listen, you have to pay for maintenance now.
Oh.
In an apartment, I didn't really have to worry about it, but you brought up a good point.
So what I wanted to say, and the point that I brought up is, but you're still paying for it.
Yeah.
Because if my mortgage, let's just say at the price that you said before, those $50,000, $80,000, at the end of the day, if my mortgage is $1,100 and your rent is $18,000, where you think that extra money is going towards? That maintenance, the care. You want me to come fix a leaky faucet?
Yeah.
I got to call Joe the plumber. At the end of the day, you got to realize you're still paying for it. It's how they lump it in. It's like buying a car. They gonna lump in all that extra maintenance in your monthly payment,
and they could do it at any time.
Let's start right there. So
you just get stressed out real quick.
We get to that point. Just remember. So renting was like when you got your first car.
Yeah.
When your car was in your parents' name and everything else, nothing ever went wrong. And that starter home, like you're saying, it prepares you because the moment you owned your own car, you was getting your own gas.
Yeah.
You was getting your oil change, their tire rotations. It prepared you for your bigger house, for the bigger. And a lot of people don't realize, and be careful renting condos.
Yeah.
Because I got a client who's a buddy of mine. Wasn't you, but I had another one, and they know I'll talk about them. They bedroom was a 20 by 22.
Good grief.
And their kids' bedroom was 15 by 14.
Okay.
And they wanted, so first of all, when you live in a condo, you only own like a field goal. You only, it's good.
Yeah.
That's it. You put your arms up and down, that's all you own.
Yeah.
So everybody else is paying for the common space, for the concrete, for the front yard. When you own a house, you own everything around you.
Right.
So with that being said, you have to pay attention and that's the way people get trapped too.
Yeah.
Because you get that 20 by whatever bedroom, but you own a house.
Yeah.
Well, that concrete gonna cost. I'm not trying to scare you. I just want you to be real. I want to be real with you about concrete costs.
Yeah.
That starter home, you go from renting, because they gave you, again, the big bedrooms, the big basement, you got 3 floors, you got all the stuff, but you owned nothing.
Yeah.
You made no money. And I promise you didn't ask your landlord to tell them to report your monthly payments to the credit bureau.
Oh, yeah, they can't do that.
So your credit can go up. And I just gave you a gem. Pay attention to that. With that being said, you still not getting ahead, and you could have had a down payment on the house.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think the ultimate goal, and again, it depends on everybody's situation, is to, renting should be your first step.
Should be.
Right. It's not necessarily a long-term thing. I wouldn't recommend renting over owning a home. I would recommend owning your home, even if it's just a starter home or whatever the case may be. I mean, but investing in, because it's also an investment, right? So the example that I gave was, my first home was a short sale home. I didn't even know what it was at the time, but the math was mathing. Right?
And no.
I said, I could get this for this. Oh, that ain't nothing. I could have, at the time, I wasn't thinking starter home. I'm thinking I could just pay this house off and this is where I'm gonna be at.
Right. I'm
Right.
good.
But then once the economy shifted, the houses were booming. I'm like, hold on, wait a minute. So I can actually get money from this,
And get something else.
and I could get something else bigger. Yeah, so for only a couple $100 more.
With the finished basement.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was
Not the one that was unfinished, but with the finished basement.
yeah, the one that Corey need to let go.
Yeah. Let it go.
Like he's not letting it go.
Let it go.
Corey not letting that house on Cherokee go.
Listen.
But no, you could get that. You could get more with just a couple of $100 more a month.
That goes back to what I said earlier, because you painted, you did some upgrades.
Yeah.
Because you owned it.
Yeah.
And you didn't have to ask for permission.
No.
And with that, you gained equity.
Yes.
Sweat equity.
Yeah.
And that allowed you to sell it for way more than what you bought it for.
Yeah.
And so when you cashed out, you were able to now use that. That was like an advancement.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're about to use that and get something bigger.
Yeah.
Which in the long term increase your net worth.
Yeah. It's just all about, making those minor adjustments that you need for a long-term solution, that long-term investment. Renting is just, to me, temporary.
Okay.
You don't want to be stuck somewhere with someone telling you, okay, I understand you're paying me $1,500, $1,600 a month, but you can't do X, Y, Z.
Oh.
And we like to grill.
Yeah.
Don't tell me I can't grill my bathroom.
Man, listen, front yard or backyard, side yard.
Well, now they're eliminating that because of the fire hazard.
Oh.
So a lot of people aren't able to, barbecue on they have to take it inside on the George Foreman. So you're going to tell me that.
Those?
Yeah, I have a George Foreman.
Oh,
that's
man.
another podcast. So I love my George Foreman.
So real quick, one thing I want to talk about too. So we talked about equity, right?
Yeah.
That's a benefit of buying.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about paying your own mortgage and growing from it and learning. But a lot of people don't realize when you rent versus buying, let's do it. When you buy versus renting, you now have, this is not my profession, I just know enough.
Okay.
You now have the ability to write things off in your taxes.
Mm-hmm.
You can't write anything off in your taxes when you're renting.
No.
When you own a home, there's a level of depreciation.
Mm-hmm.
There's so many benefits. Again, you get the tax write-off.
Mm-hmm.
You get your equity.
Mm-hmm.
You get your freedom.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you put a price tag on any of those things.
You really can't. To me, owning a home presents a peace of mind.
Ooh.
Knowing that for one, you have the peace of mind because you're insured.
Insured.
So I'm not worried if the roof falls off, right? Because I got insurance is going to cover that, or something goes wrong. Period. You have insurance, you have things set in place that comes with home ownership. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that headache, but to your point, you're still paying for it because this is why your rent is sky high.
That is correct.
Because the property management, they have to pay for property management, and whoever owns that establishment has to pay those fees. So It's going somewhere. And then they got to shave a little off for their profit too. So you're putting money in.
A lot of cuts, right?
Yeah, you're putting money in someone else's pocket versus putting that money, making that investment into your own home, so you can make that profit. And you could take out a home equity loan for whatever it is that you may need. Right? You can't do that when you are renting an apartment, because what are you taking it from?
I don't own anything.
You go to the bank, say, I want to take out a home equity loan, but I'm renting. And they're like, what are you doing?
Home equity loan, we definitely going to cover in another subject. So, but just know it's a benefit of owning a house. Some people use it to invest. Some people, when life happens and it starts lifing.
Yeah.
Some people, got to pay
do it.
medical bills, got to pay tuition until they could put it back. But there's so much that you can do. And again, you can sell the house. This is what you said.
Mm-hmm.
You can sell a house and get something better.
Yeah.
Or out the country. And you don't need a 30-day notice.
No.
And nowadays, it's really a 60-day notice, because I got to give you 30 days before my 30 days, really, to give you time so you know.
Yeah.
Because I don't really know. I don't dance in that field. But it's renting can, again, I want you to understand, if you are renting and your life requires you to rent, it is okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with renting.
But the mindset, I believe, this is just personal for me, that when you own, you write your own story, your own narrative, because now you can use it for the benefit of you and or your family or your business.
Yeah.
You put your business in your house. Again, I'm not your tax professional, but if you put your business in the house, you get a office room. Now you writing off part of your house because you're not working from there.
Yes.
And again, who's doing that? And if you have enough where you own your first house and you make enough money where you don't have to sell your first house and you can buy the second house, now you got rental income.
Yeah.
Now you become the landlord.
See, that's why I said I wish I'd never sold my first. I mean, the first house did us do just diligence, right? So we received a nice cushion.
They played its role.
It served its purpose, right?
Sure did.
But of course, you're not gonna find nothing like that now in this economy. But to your point, even this home I'm in now, I was telling my husband that I don't want to sell it for sale. I would love to just rent it out to, a family member or just keep it as a property for us when we move on to the next greatest big thing, right?
I can't wait till they call me. That house gonna be
It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. I want to build it
so
on a nice lot.
I guess for me, if somebody came up to you today and say, "Hey, how do I, when it comes to renting, how long should I stay in there?" I mean, because I rented. What would you tell them? And then I'll tell you what I tell them.
I would say one, look at your finances.
Yeah.
See what you can afford.
Yeah.
It's okay to look in the market. Just get on Zillow to see what's out there.
Hey, we're not gonna say that name. Listen.
Or
Your
sorry,
House Is Key.
yourhouseskey.com. See what's out there. See what's out there.
.com.
See if what you're wanting is within your price range. And you can make those adjustments wherever necessary. Make sure your credit is in place. And get call a lender or get with your realtor. Your realtor may have a lender for you to take out the hassle.
There we go.
To take out the hassle. And then go from there. Because I wasn't necessarily ready to purchase my first home. My mom happened to call me and say, "Hey, this house for sale 2 doors down." And I said, "I'm not, what are you talking about?" I remember that day like it was yesterday. I was on my way home from work. And I'm like, "Mom, I don't have time." I don't have time for this conversation. She said, "No, this is a short sale." And my mom's very smart, very business oriented. She said, "Listen, I need you to listen to me. This is what I need you to do." And I did.
The playbook.
Yeah. And it was a process, but it was the smartest decision that I could have done. Is because again, that experience and now going into my second home, being at my second home, showed me that I will never rent again because it doesn't benefit me and what I'm looking to do.
Correct. And I'm glad you said it like that. So my advice, I got a couple questions. Are you here on an assignment? What is your work life? Are you here to doing a project 2-3 years and now they're going to move you back out? Also, are you just here for schooling, which is almost the same, right? Because not everybody want to live on campus, but they want a place to go.
Yeah.
But if this is where you're going to be, if this is where you're going to continue to evolve and to what I say real life parenting or just as an adult in general, I would definitely tell you look at your finances. But my question is, what is your ultimate goal? Is your ultimate goal to provide some type of peace in life, some type of understanding, knowing that, hey, no matter what, I have a predictable payment. I know what's coming out. I'm getting my equity. I have my freedom. I can use it as a tax benefit. If any of these things sound correct to you, then why not? Why not own something that you can call home or a castle and allow yourself to just grow?
Yeah.
Until again, flowers, when you put a flower in a pot, it's expected to outgrow that pot.
Yeah.
And it's okay to get up
And repot it.
and there you go.
Yeah.
You got to move yourself to a new area for you to grow and expand in some more. So again, I do agree that renting is a temporary thing, but you want to look at the benefits and how many benefits you throw away by not owning what's yours.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, you still make time to, you're still making time, you're still making payments, you're still doing all those things because it's just embedded into your bill.
Yeah.
You're not benefiting from it.
Yeah. So just understanding your why is basically.
Oh, yeah, like I think that's been our running topic.
Why
are you doing this?
What are you doing? Right? Understanding your why. Why are you doing this? Right? And then once you understand your why, then you can move accordingly. But I always suggest that, of course, when you're starting this process, connect with someone who can help you that is an expert in this area. So that way you're just not out here looking at articles or doing your own research, because everything you see on the internet is not accurate. Get with the expert, whether if it's a
realtor.
Yeah. Your house is key.
There you go. Your favorite realtor.
Right. Or speaking with someone who owns their own home that can walk you through the process, that can maybe refer you to a realtor.
It goes back to talk to a realtor.
Talk to a realtor at the end of the day. And just if you have a good realtor, then they'll walk you through that process. Even if you don't know where to start, it's okay to say, hey, I'm interested in owning my home, but I don't even know what to do.
Because don't forget, again, in the long term, the payments on a mortgage that's steady and fixed are going to save you more money than renting that every month or every year, or you got a dog, or now you're smoking, or you're not taking care of my property correctly, can go up, or they can evict you.
Yeah.
No one can evict you from your house.
Unless you're not paying your mortgage.
That part. If you
ain't paying your mortgage, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I can't help you. I'm not going to advise. Listen,
I wouldn't recommend.
Pay your mortgage.
Pay your mortgage. Always make sure you have a roof over your head. But hold on. Before we wrap it up, I do want to bring out an important piece. Even though your mortgage payment is at a fixed rate, right?
Yeah.
It can increase due to property taxes, because that's something I think every homeowner across the U.S.
Oh, we got a segment on that.
Has
hidden costs.
Hidden costs.
Yes.
That I knew, but I didn't really know.
You didn't know
until you got the letter in the mail, right? Yeah. So your mortgage payment can increase, but it's not going to fluctuate like rent, right? So if you stay in a rental home or renting an apartment, they can increase the rent every month. Yeah, they could do it at their leisure.
Yeah.
And but when you're owning a home, your property taxes aren't going to increase every month.
No. It's still more stability.
Yeah, it's definitely more stability in owning your own home than renting. So just discovering your why, understanding, okay, well, I mean, I can understand if you're new to the city, if you're traveling for work, then to me, renting makes sense.
Correct.
Right. But if you are, living in your current area and
you ain't going nowhere.
You're not going nowhere.
Discovery stage is over. You're no longer in discovery stage.
Come on. Yeah, because that's how I'm raising my children. I don't want my children to rent. Like my son, he's 20. And I said, stack your money, stay here as long as you want, right? But when it's time for you to move out, you're going to own your own home first.
Yeah.
You're going to own your own home first.
Pay your own mortgage. You're paying yourself. So, I mean, honestly, we gave a lot. Yeah. And I want some of that to marinate. I want you guys, again, if you got questions, if you want it, I'm open up to a healthy dialogue. I was going to say debate, but whatever you want to call it, reach out. I'm ready to talk to you. You can call me. My 513-703-0370. You can email me. You can text me. You can comment. You can like, save, and share, which I prefer you do that as well. And let's talk about you and your lifestyle, if you're renting or if you're buying, and how the next move can help you in the future, because all I want to do is see you win.
Yeah.
And to me, owning your own, at least your first property, and then buying rentals for others will help you win. So, I think that we covered it all for today's episode. As always, I'm your favorite realtor, Dannel Shepard, and my wonderful co-host,
Chris.
So, as always, we're going to give you the insights, the do's and the don'ts, and the what's haps on the Your House is Key podcast. We out.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Your House is Key with Dannel Shepard. Each week, Dannel dives into essential tips, insider secrets, and expert advice to help you navigate the exciting journey of home ownership and home selling. From understanding market trends and finding the perfect neighborhood to even securing financing, staging your home, and closing the deal, there's only one guy that gets it done. Dannel Shepard, right here at yourhouseskey.com.